Some time ago, I posted something on my personal Facebook profile, and it goes like, tomorrow I will write a post about procrastination, and that generated a lot of responses. In this episode, I'm going to share with you how to stop procrastinating and overcome laziness, and we are starting right now. Hello and welcome to this episode of Audacity to Lead. I am Dayo Samuel, and if you're just getting to meet me, this is the show where I give you the courage and the necessary insights you need to lead your life and business in the direction that matters to you. Today on this episode, I'm going to be talking about how to stop procrastinating and overcome laziness, and I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of things that I've done in the past and how I have helped people overcome procrastination. I'm going to break this episode into three. First part is going to be about why people procrastinate. The second part is going to be about procrastination as a behavior mechanism. And number three will be effective ways you can overcome procrastination, effective ways you can stop procrastination. Now, do you know that procrastination is a psychological and neurological state of indecision? By psychological, I'm referring to your mind, and by neurological, I'm referring to your brain and your nervous system. You need to understand and be aware that some procrastination are just based off of anxieties that are unrelated. They may even be unrelated memories you have about certain things you've done in the past. Some procrastination are actually born out of the fact that your brain is only telling you that you need more information. Now, when we procrastinate, we are consciously or subconsciously experiencing some form of confusion, doubt, especially self-doubt, uncertainty, or fear. Now, business psychologists have discovered that if you have good time management skills and good business skills, active procrastination may make you more successful because it gives you time to access the situation and to gather more information so you can make better, smart business decisions. Some research also shows that excessive procrastination interferes with memory and it tends to affect your personality. Now, procrastinators sometimes have low self-esteem and tend to exaggerate their accomplishments as a way of covering up anxiety and self-doubt. So why do people procrastinate? Now, there are three main reasons. In fact, you would have actually identified them from what I've said so far. Number one, people procrastinate because it's a self-defense mechanism in order to accomplish temporary pleasure or to postpone something you perceive as painful or stressful. Number two, your procrastination can be born out of anxiety based on some past unrelated events and memories that you have, and I'm going to explain that shortly. Number three, procrastination could be born out of the fact that your brain is signaling to you that you need more information before making a decision. So depending on the category or depending on where you find yourself, it's either you are using it as a self-defense mechanism, or it's just born out of anxiety, or maybe it's just your brain telling you need more information. Any of them is neither good, neither are they bad. Okay, so here, what I want to do here is to walk you through procrastination from a behavioral perspective. Now, what I want you to first identify and understand here is that procrastination is a behavior and it's not your identity. So as a behavior, just as I always explain, of course, maybe you've seen some of my previous episodes, and if you haven't, I would recommend you actually go through some of my episodes so that you can understand how this behavioral transformation sequence works. Now, as a behavior, you need to understand that before there is a behavior, there is something that precedes every behavior. And interestingly, it starts from scenarios. As I always like to explain, scenarios are basically the things that happen maybe the first time, the second time, or the third time that actually made you to procrastinate. And when we talk about scenarios, you could look at maybe the first time you needed to do something else came up, and so you had to say, okay, let me postpone it till some other time. Number two is scripts. Scripts are the things you believe. Memories, beliefs, values, unconscious decisions that you've made at certain times in your life. Now, based on whatever it is you're experiencing at that point in time, you need to understand that Your procrastination could also be supported by your beliefs, your values, your unconscious decisions, the decisions you make unconsciously. And then number 3 are stories. And by stories, I'm talking about the fact that when you are procrastinating, there's a story that goes on beneath that procrastination. So the stories are basically the things you are telling yourself, the stories you are telling yourself anytime you want to procrastinate or anytime you are already procrastinating. And interestingly, one of them is what I actually explained, that you could be using it as a self-defense mechanism in order to protect yourself from what you perceive as temporary pain, or what you say, okay, let me quickly enjoy some temporary pleasure and then I can postpone the temporary pain. Now here's the interesting thing. When it comes to story, it has to do with the things you tell yourself about that object of procrastination. So let's say you want to go accomplish a task and you said, I can always do it later. Now, that is a story that you are telling yourself. And except you take care of that story, you will constantly exhibit the behavior of procrastination. So you need to understand that. Now, moving on, whenever you tell yourself a story like that, it actually produces a state of mind. The state of mind eventually becomes a state in your body. And here's the interesting thing. If you don't take care of the stories that you tell yourself, maybe it's even some of the inner critic, maybe it's a voice that goes on in your head. If you don't take care of that, it's actually going to produce a state in yourself, in your mind and in your body, and that state is going to affect your behavior, because that state is what is going to determine your next behavior. Of course, all behaviors are state dependent. That is, all behaviors are based on the state you are in. So if you have had certain experiences in your life, certain events, certain things that have happened in your life that have enhanced or encouraged procrastination, and you have beliefs, values and unconscious decisions and memories that are helping you to constantly exhibit procrastination, and you are telling yourself stories that support procrastination, you know for sure that you will always produce a state of procrastination. And as I said earlier on, procrastination is a behavior. So once you find that this is a behavior you exhibit every time, what you need to do is to take care of the scenario, the script, the stories. Most importantly, the stories and the state that you find yourself in prior to procrastination. So immediately you catch yourself that you're about to procrastinate, just think back, what did I think to myself just now? What did I say to myself just now? And the moment you can just do that quick rewind and just check back, you'll find that the core thing that's making you to want to procrastinate, you can actually take care of it. And with that, you can do the things that you want to do, the thing that really matters to you. Now, let me talk about the effective ways that you can actually overcome procrastination. And I'm going to be walking you through a couple of things that you can do, effective ways you can use to stop procrastination. Whenever you catch yourself procrastinating, take out a sheet of paper and write down as briefly as possible what you are uncertain about. List all your reasons for not taking action, and then ask yourself, are any of these reasons valid? Most will not be, but some may be true. Next, write down 3 small strategies that will lead to the resolution of your hesitation. That is, small strategies that you can come up with that would actually help you not be uncertain, help you not to hesitate to take action. Just write 3 things that you can do down. Then take action. But remember, you can never have enough information to guarantee 100% success. So what you can do is to trust your intuition, use your wisdom and skills, and make a leap of faith. Now, I need to mention here that there is a big connection between being a procrastinator and being a perfectionist. That is, there's a connection between procrastination and perfectionism. For the perfectionist, it is never good enough. For the procrastinator, it is not time enough, or I need more time. And that suggests that the perfectionist may have some low self-worth, may have some low self-esteem. Now, let me ask you, are you procrastinating because you don't trust yourself? Are you procrastinating because you don't just see yourself as good enough? I want you to answer this question. Am I good enough to make a decision? What's your answer? You'll probably say yes. If your answer is yes, it means that you can actually make decisions, right? If your answer is no, consider some personal coaching session with a professional. Maybe you feel you're not good enough to make a decision. What I have done is to put together a tiny resource that can actually help you improve your confidence by 70%. At least that will help you begin to see yourself as somebody that is good enough to make a decision. Now, what I want you to do is to check the link down below in the description below this video. You will find audacitytolead.com/free resource. You can go there and download the free resource that I have for you. My name again is Dayo Samuel, and this is the show where I give you the courage and the necessary insight to lead your life and business in the direction that matters to you. I hope I've been able to do that with this particular episode. If I have done so, I would like for you to go ahead, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment below and tell me which of these tips that I've shared with you are you going to work with? Which of these strategies that I've shared with you are you going to work with starting right now? With that said, I'm going to see you in the next episode. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am Dayo Samuel, and this is Audacity to Lead. Remember to live your life without limits.